Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Dan Ramey, and with us in studio today, to my immediate left, is Beth Jenkins, and also that guy on the far side is Josh Taylor. They're involved with Bainbridge. We'll tell you how coming up in just a moment. But first, this message from our friends at Tomlinson Insurance.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Well, it's the haunting season, and you're not really talking haunts in what people might expect, but you're talking about history and you're talking about lives that lived in the Bainbridge area, right?
That's correct. Yes. So next Saturday night, September the 30th in Bainbridge, Ohio, the Bainbridge Legends of the Past Historic Ghost Walk will take place. And that is an annual event. We're very excited. This is our 5th year for hosting that. And we have an amazing group of cast and crew who is all volunteers that just give up a lot of time and being involved in that in Bainbridge. But our main purpose is to be able to retell the history that goes back quite a long time in the Paint Valley. And so it's a wonderful event for people to come out and to learn about the history of the area.
Mm-hmm. I imagine you'll tie in some of the sites like the Paxton Theater and so on and so forth.
Yes, yeah. So some of our sites this year that we're going to be hosting, of course, is the Paxton Theater. That's where the Ghost Walk begins from there. We will be stopping at the Bainbridge Historical Society, where we're going to meet Nathaniel Willis, who we remember is also known here in the Chillicothe area for being a protester at the Boston Tea Party. Mm-hmm. And I know there was some publicity about him recently.
Daughters of the American Revolution.
The DAR. As well as his home. He does have a house that was built over, I think, on 5th Street here in Chillicothe. This is a bed and breakfast, the Willis James. It's a very beautiful place and a great place to stay. And then we also have Pabst Hilltop Distillery, which there's a fascinating story about a woman named Victoria who is there. Some houses, some inside outdoor location. And then we're going to conclude back at the Paxton Theater that evening because, as you know, the Paxton Theater throughout its history was known as the Paint Valley Jamboree. Mm-hmm. And there's been many famous musicians and performers who have been on stage there for a long time since the history of the theater.
Back when Jerry Salley was just a young boy.
Oh, yeah. And so we are really honored this year to be able to feature Miss Patsy Cline.
Oh, great.
And so the time will be 1958, and she will be performing live. So this is not a lip sync. This is actually done by one of our actresses who actually is a country music artist. Mm-hmm. And she's going to be performing one of her songs, hit songs.
Nice.
And it's got an interesting twist, but I'm not going to tell you what that is.
You got to come to see that. Yeah.
Right.
Josh, now you're a kind of a true mountain man in some respects here. We know that you've been involved with Sasquatch as well.
Yeah.
But tell me about the character that you'll be playing.
Okay, I'm playing Bob McKimmey. He was a real guy, of course, from the late 1800s into the 1900s, and he lived in Rainsboro, but he visited Bainbridge quite a bit.
Rainsboro's just down the road
in Highland County,
50,
right? Yeah, just right down the road from Bainbridge, and he was kind of a bad guy. He liked to steal, and he liked to see violence done, and he killed a few people. So
is that right?
Yeah.
Now we were talking about you possibly performing a little bit for us today as that character. Are you prepared to do that?
Well, you might have to come out to see the show to see full Bob. But, I want y'all to know that I'm a scary guy. There's no doubt about that.
Now, people who may know the story about Mr. McKimmey, is it possible that they have said, you're a spitting image?
I don't know if I'd be the spitting image or not, but I'm trying to live the part up until the time, except for the murder, and I don't want to do any of that. I'm trying to be the character.
Reenactment only goes so far.
Exactly, right. I don't want to go to prison for that.
I don't blame you. how's this all put together? I mean,
Oh, wow. Well, we'll go back to 2017. So at the time, I was working for the Chillicothe-Ross County Public Library. And we had a kind of a famous person in Bainbridge by the name of June Gregg. June lived to be almost 106 years old. And her entire life, she collected histories and genealogies of the people in the Paint Valley. And so when she passed, part of that collection actually ended up in my care, which was an honor for me to be able to do that. And so a lot of the books and things like that went into the library system, into the reference, so that way the public has access to that. But I had approached the Bainbridge Connections Group, which is now the Bainbridge Lions Club, if we could give a historic ghost walk a try and see what they thought about the idea. And I know there was a lot of raised eyebrows. They're like, well, what is that? But they said, let's do it. And so we actually started to write script, and we did the research, on these people that lived in the Paint Valley. Our time frame that we look at is probably the 1790s all the way up to about 1960. So it's a very broad time period of history. And so we began to bring these people kind of back to life and retell their story. And so these stories are truthful. And they have been researched well, and then, like I said, we have a great group of people that care about our community, and they want to be involved in this. Not everybody is a professional actor or actress, but they have a great time. They have a great time doing it. So we actually had our first ghost walk in Bainbridge. We had 10 stops the first year, and it sold out immediately. And so we have been selling this event out every single year. So I'm really proud to say that it has been a huge success.
Yeah, that's great to hear. What about the public feedback? What as a portrayer of a character, what have you been hearing from people?
Oh, people say they like the way I do the character, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And I want to give a shout out to Beth for having all this, for even asking me to begin. Back in I wasn't in the first one because I didn't know anything about it. But when the second one was coming around, she worked at the library up there in Bainbridge, and I was a very regular customer, and they was telling me about that, and I was like, was there something I can do? And she said, I got a character for you to try out. So
you became.
Yes, I played Bob. I've been in it 4 years because we skipped the COVID year.
Yeah.
But I've been Bob 3 out of the 4 years, and it's just fun to play him.
Yeah. And now whenever you hear, what about Bob? You can
think about me.
Josh Taylor.
That's it.
For folks who want to see this year's event, again, September 30th is the year. How do we get tickets?
Okay, so tickets are available online at bainbridgeghostwalk.com, or if you would like to purchase those in person, you have two options. Presently, there is a new coffee shop that has opened up in Bainbridge. It's actually inside the historic Paxton Theater. It is called 634 Coffee and Cafe. Good coffee. Pumpkin donuts right now are phenomenal. Giving a shout out to Bev Ross, who's doing that. And so that address is at 133 East Main Street in Bainbridge, Ohio, 45612. Also, you will be able to purchase tickets the night of the Ghost Walk.
Okay,
as
that's
well.
good to hear.
Yes.
Of course, this will be a prelude to the Fall Festival of Leaves, just a few short weeks away. So Bainbridge pretty much on the map.
Oh, yes.
So to speak, in everybody's eyes as we start getting ready for these leaves. They've been turning the last few weeks here too. So anything that we have missed?
Just one more thing I would like to tell your viewers is that this year the Ghost Walk will start out with a wedding reception.
Yeah, you get to come see a wedding.
And so that doors open for that at the Paxton Theater at 6 p.m. So with your ticket, which tickets for adults is $15 and $8 for 12 and under, and that does include the soup, beans, and cornbread dinner. So if you would like to purchase your tickets, please come and prepare to have dinner with us that evening as well, and that will be in the Paxton Theater.
And be careful, what happens when you eat beans.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't want to say.
We don't want to add any extra to the show, so to speak. Well, fantastic. We wish you well with this program, and happy to hear that it's been so well received as well.
We appreciate you, Dan. You're very well known in the Paint Valley, and we appreciate just you giving us the airtime to be able to talk about our wonderful event coming up.
My kids thought it was cool I was going to be on the radio. So
Hopefully I'm not notorious in the Pain Valley.
No, it's good. It's good.
So, that's good to hear. Well, again, thank you for coming in, Beth Jenkins, and also Josh Taylor, Bob McKimmey. And we're going to have you back in one of these days to talk about some other things going on as well.
Great. Would love that. Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching here with a special edition of Litter Media Live. Back again with you with another program in just moments, so stick close.